Dermot Mulroney went to Northwestern, starred Chicago Fire, and of course, his brother is a co-owner of the Double Door. He's also in a band, and of course, I think that automatically makes you a Chicagoan. So, if you have not been appointed a Chicagoan, we're doing it right now.
I think I'm thinking of running for alderman. You guys, yeah, it's
You
great.
got my vote.
Thank you.
And of course, Saturday you're appearing with the band One for the Ditch after the Ireland and New Zealand rugby match, and all proceeds are going for a good cause. This is so exciting. Thank you so much for your time today.
What a pleasure to be here, and in fact, to be working double shift in Chicago between Chicago Fire and then this event coming up Saturday after the rugby game.
Let's talk a little bit about that because the band is no stranger to performing in front of Chicagoland audiences. Your brother's in the band. You also got to open up for the Smashing Pumpkins, so this is pretty exciting.
There's music just won't leave me alone. Our parents literally made sure that we started life with it. They would line us up at cocktail parties and have 4 or 5 kids singing old Irish songs. So translate that today. One for the Ditch is an incredible Irish cover band. Does Pogues covers and tunes everybody knows. So it's a really incredible band. I'm really just a sideliner, sit in with them when I'm in town. So that's my brother Sean, who's been in dozens of bands over the years. In fact, you can find incredible footage of the band called Tic Ta that even went on Star Search, if you remember that show. So
Yeah.
I'm not the only famous Mulroney. Sean was on Star Search in about '88. Long history of Chicago musicians and an incredible musical community of these players and these venues. So it's been so fun for me to become part of that inner circle in Chicago.
And then also on a personal level, I mean, obviously we all have our family members and lives get busy, but to be able to connect with your brother in this sort of way, I mean, what does that do for your soul and the friendship that the two of you have?
Well, we both went to Chicago, went to college here in Chicago, close enough, Evanston for me with Northwestern. He was at DePaul Law School. He stayed. I had some business in California and points unknown in the last 40 years, but Sean remained and is a fixture in town in the music scene and the bar scene. And of course, he's a lawyer. So it's great to be in town with family. I always remember that my dad was born in Chicago, and we go way back. My grandfather, Alphonsus Mulroney, lived here with his family in the 30s.
Well, that is amazing. Let's talk a little bit about this event on Saturday. Money's going towards a good cause. A lot of people are going to be out there in a celebratory mood. I mean, performance. We got the Shannon Rovers. We've got you guys. We have people just excited for the match. I mean, talk a little bit about how you're gearing up for this event.
Absolutely, a pipe band and Irish dancing. Here's the plan: the Irish beat the All Blacks from New Zealand, and they and their 19,000 friends who've come over from Ireland for this incredibly important rugby match, grudge match, in fact. Gonna need like a group venue to go to instead of just all the incredible Irish corner pubs you got in Chicago. Just head straight west maybe on the city bike or just stumble on down the street to the Plumbers Union Hall. Come see One for the Ditch. A lot of the proceeds, especially from the door prize and all of that, go to a great cause. And it's going to be a great night. I'm calling it the first annual Ruckus. Let's do it.
There you go. Yeah, we got mark your calendar for next year. We're having you back.
Absolutely. It falls somewhere after St. Patrick's Day and before Juneteenth. It's perfect.
It is perfect. And then also, too, the band's going to be at Twisted Christmas. So not only do you get to play with the Smashing Pumpkins, but you got the Q101 crowd all excited, and you're going to be back on December 12th with Sublime.
Q101's just done the most amazing thing, and the venue, Aragon Ballroom. I'll tell it quickly, but what happened last year is Sean got a call last minute, same day, to fill in a slot. We're one of the opening acts for the Smashing Pumpkins at that Twisted Christmas, which is about on its 30th year or something, I think. So it's an incredible event every year. So we opened for the Smashing Pumpkins. Q101 and this event liked it so much that they called us back this year to sort of pull off the same trick. And One for the Ditch opens for Sublime. That's December. Double check. It's December 12th. Yeah, so be sure to meet us there on that incredible room, that vast circular dance floor there. Join us for sure. An event not to miss.
An iconic place. And also, the Double Door was an iconic place here in Chicagoland. Your brother was a co-owner. Did you get to go to any kind of shows? Because obviously the Smashing Pumpkins got to play in a small venue like that. I mean, the Rolling Stones were there. I mean, did you get to go to a lot of those shows?
That's part of the epic lore. I think that Sean called me from Chicago that day to say the Stones are playing tonight. So I did not make it, but so many people remember that moment in Chicago where that global band came to that nightclub in Chicago. So it was an amazing, epic, OG kind of a place. It was always the go-to place for punk bands and heavy metal and everything. Incredible. So we still have the name. Sean's still at work trying to bring that back to life so that there's a live music venue that still represents what that club was, which was just a centerpiece in Chicago nightlife.
Well, fingers crossed. We'll get an update on that very soon. Definitely spent a lot of nights over there, and a little. I'll share a little story with you. But when I first
Yeah.
got into the television business, one of my first assignments was to do Man on the Street. Was for the Rolling Stone show, so got to see all the people lined up. So I didn't have to look it up. I was like, I just went to my memory, and I was like, that's a core memory, in my career. So
You're not alone. So many people reference that night. They claim they were there and all of that. So it's really interesting that club holds that sort of part of that Chicago lore in
yeah.
the music world. Yeah, amazing to be part of that.
And of course, while we wait for that too, as well too, if you remember it, or maybe you were too young or don't live in Chicago, the film High Fidelity with John Cusack and Jack Black, go check it out. Parts of it were filmed in there as well. Um, we got to talk Chicago Fire, brand new for season number 13. Talk a little bit about joining the cast because this is a different fandom. I mean, just when I've talked to people from that cast, it is these one Chicago shows are just beloved across the world. I mean, talk a little bit about kind of jumping into this universe.
Well, as you said, I joined in season 13, so some of this is still kind of new to me. What I know is I joined an incredibly dedicated, incredibly top tier cast with all of these guys, hearts of gold. You couldn't do this job if you weren't an athlete and a great actor and Johnny on the spot, all of them. It's incredible to join Christian Stolte, David Eigenberg, Miranda Ray, Mayo, and this incredible group. I could name them all. Such a pleasure. And how iconic is the show? Like you said, it's beloved worldwide. So some of that's just occurring to me now. I was given the incredible assignment of being only the second chief on the show because, of course, Eamon Walker played Chief Bowden, um, and every very beloved character. So I was not replacing him because, frankly, Pascal doesn't know that guy. I don't care about Bowden, but everybody who ever watched that show sure did. And so, of course, that was tough to follow in his footsteps. But they gave me an incredible storyline that delved into loss and grief in a way that you wouldn't have expected in that season.
Yeah.
So this year, you find Chief Pascal cleaning up the scraps of his life, and there's a new juncture happening, and always trouble to clean up at Firehouse 51. So it's truly an honor to be working in Chicago. The way the city embraces these shows, parking trucks late at night, noise, obstruction on your streets. Hey, we really appreciate that. And the way Chicago always pulls together and is doing right now in a way that's phenomenal, considering the challenges the federal government's putting on this city and the state. God bless you guys, and we'll make it through. And Chicago Fire always gives a great example of teamwork and represents the city in such a proud way. It's incredible to be a part of that show.
Yeah, I know it's amazing to have that as part of our city. But let's go back to a little bit to Pascal because like he came in and he came in hot. I mean, some of those scenes, that early scenes, with Kid and kind of seeing, kind of his nature, a little bit different than Eamon Walker brought to the, to Bowden's character. I mean, talk a little bit about, you being new, and then this is the character that you are.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. The character had so much to reveal to me week by week last season and continuing because they weren't giving us very much. So I was drawn into who is this guy and what motivates him. He was in this really interesting and complex relationship with his wife, and then he loses her in the storyline to an accident that his firefighters have to address that incident. It's truly heart wrenching, and for me, I hadn't had an experience where I'd play out a character week by week. Most of my work up until now hasn't been this long lived, or the character, what happens at the end of the movie. So this for me is a phenomenal experience to ride it out in real time or close to it, but more so than I've encountered in my other work challenges.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I don't know what's happening next with Dominic Pascal, but they're teeing up a great season. We're already filming probably on episode 10, and I think they're showing number 4 or 5. So we're always a couple ahead of you
Yeah.
guys. But the season's phenomenal. The Ambo crew with Hanako and Jocelyn are really carrying a lot of weight this season and doing incredible work. I'm so proud to be part of this cast.
That is amazing. You talked a little bit about, we get to see your characters when you're in films. You kind of see them at the end, and sometimes people are not. They want to know what happens after the end. And obviously, I'm talking about My Best Friend's Wedding
Yeah,
because, especially as a
obviously.
Chicagoan, you watch a movie like that and you kind of relive what Chicago, especially our stores and our restaurants and technology changes so much that you get to go
Yeah.
back and kind of relive, those memories. I mean, talk a little bit about the legacy of that film.
Well, that film did an amazing job of really collecting the most wonderful aspects of the city, the river tour and the Marshall Fields lunch and all those iconic places made more iconic by being in the film. And now they're remembered with such nostalgia through this film. So imagine me walking to work along the Riverwalk in Chicago, and I see the tour boats going by, and I kind of feel like telling them, this happened here. But the city embraces that movie as much as they embrace Chicago Fire. So I'm so touched. Of course, I touched down in Chicago for 2 seasons of Shameless, which really honors this city too. Yeah, Best
Yeah,
Friend's Wedding lives on. It and Chicago are still cooperating in making that an
yeah.
incredibly classic film. So I go by those locations all the time. The church on Michigan Avenue, that corporate office building. It's on Wacker Drive that she's trying to break into, unsend that email. It's all right there. So it's incredible to be back.
Yeah, no, it's funny. You get to go back in time and you get to see unsend an email. You had to go to an office. Now you can just do it on your phone. So I love that you can kind of see those moments in time. And obviously, a lot of talk with Celine Song kind of working on a sequel, and there's a lot of talk and a lot of excitement. And as far as what you've said, what Julia Roberts has said, what can you tease? What can your
Well,
happiness, your the
of
progress?
course, I'm thrilled. That's the most concrete progress that any revisit to My Best Friend Wedding has had. So that's all I know is that they have an incredible screenwriter on. So I don't know the story or anything like that. But the storyline of trying to get all the stars to align. I don't mean the actors. I think we're all in if it gets put together. It's just so complicated. So it's become its own storyline. I've been asked about My Best Friend's Wedding too for 19 years, literally since the year after. So I've been able to give little dribs and drabs, and I'm afraid that's all I got for you today. Too, you know more than I
Well,
do,
well,
probably.
well, I mean, I'm excited that there's some traction on there, and I think a lot of people are going to be excited and excited. Hopefully that that it's filmed again in Chicago. We have more iconic places to point out.
It couldn't possibly be anywhere else. That I know in my heart. So I'll keep you posted.
Awesome, you're the best. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Of course, go ahead and check him out with One for the Ditch. It's Chicago Journeyman's Plumber Hall. It's going to be on Saturday, right after the Ireland New Zealand game. Ticketweb.com for those tickets. Party starts at 5 o'clock. Have the best time. Thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you. We'll see you around very very soon.
Right on. We'll see you Saturday night. Thanks, Rudy. I really
All
appreciate
right,
it.
thank you.
Take care, everybody. Thanks.